All right, cheesy blasters. You take a hot dog, stuff it with some jack cheese, fold it in a pizza.
When it comes to eating, most of us don't think twice about how we handle our food. But are you making things a lot more complicated and messier than they need to be? Here are 10 things that you've been doing wrong with food your whole life.
Oh dear.
Making grilled cheese.
It's called melting on the bread.
Bread, cheese, butter. What could be easier than that? Grilled cheese is a classic American staple. You can find it on most American diner menus on both the regular and kids menu, as it is a popular favorite with the kiddos. Although there are many versions of the grilled sandwich, it's hard to beat a traditional grilled cheese with nothing but cheese between the bread.
Wow, they have it! Canned bread!
In order to get the perfect crisp on the outside of the bread, most people spread a layer of butter on each slice of bread. Butter always makes things better. However, there is actually a better condiment to be used here, and you probably already have it in your fridge. Rather than coating the bread in butter for frying, spread a layer of mayonnaise on the outside instead. Mayonnaise will bring your grilled cheese to a completely new level and give it a richness that is indescribably delicious. Don't go tossing out the butter just yet. Use a pat of butter to coat the bottom of the pan before grilling your sandwich. We promise that you will not regret it.
You gotta go out and get it.
Scooping ice cream. There is nothing better than a cold scoop of ice cream on a hot summer day.
This is so good.
From chocolate chip cookie dough to mint chocolate chip, the options are endless. Planning to have some ice cream for dessert but find it too hard to scoop? We have all been there. Ice cream can be tough to get out of the carton sometimes, especially when it has been sitting in your freezer for a while. A lot of people use the hack of running your ice cream scooper under hot water before you scoop, and this does work a lot of the time. However, there is an easy way to slightly soften your ice cream before you eat it, and all you have to do is put it in the fridge for 10 to 15 minutes. This works perfectly when you know that you're going to be eating the ice cream ahead of time. Although you may be worried that the ice cream will melt, keeping it in the fridge slows down the melting process, keeping your ice cream from becoming liquid like it would if you let it soften on the counter. If you're lacking the self-control to just take one scoop once it's sat in the fridge, just take a spoon and go to town. We know we would.
Waiter, let's get another round over here.
Peeling boiled potatoes.
Is this safe?
It's just potatoes.
Nobody likes peeling vegetables. It can be a very tedious task and can often be time-consuming if you're not a professional chef. When it comes to peeling boiled potatoes, people often wait until the boiled potatoes cool before attempting to remove their skin. However, there is a super easy way to get the peel off of the potatoes that won't have you reaching for your peeler. Before you place your potatoes in the water, score the potato across the center horizontally, making a slight cut into the peel. Once the potatoes are finished boiling and you take them out of the water, the peel will slip off easily. No peeler needed.
I need a knife.
How can I give you a knife? I'll ask you.
There's not the time.
The cuts that you make allow the peel to lift off of the vegetable, and the water helps to make this happen. This simple method of getting rid of the peel will save you time, effort, and honestly, it just makes more sense to do it this way. So the next time you go to make your homemade mashed potatoes, keep the peeler in the drawer and just score and boil away.
You're right.
How you put toppings on your hot dog.
Make it right, please. You know, with the mustard and the ketchup and the relish. And don't make me hit you up for more.
Hot dogs are the perfect summertime barbecue treat. Whether you're a fan of a classic hot dog, a specialty sausage, or a veggie dog, you really can't go wrong. One of the best parts of eating a hot dog is choosing what toppings to add. The most common toppings to put on a hot dog include things like ketchup, mustard, relish, onions, and sauerkraut, among many others.
Let's get to it.
But many people find themselves in a pretty messy situation when they eat a hot dog because these toppings tend to fall out or drip with each bite. There is actually an easy solution to this problem, and all that it involves is a little change in layering. Instead of putting your toppings on top of the hot dog, put the toppings in your bun first and put the hot dog on top. This way, when you bite into the hot dog, there is no chance for toppings to fall off the side. Instead, they will be tucked in under your hot dog and will do a better job at staying in place. Since a lot of people like to buy hot dogs on the go from a street vendor, this method of eating a hot dog can save you from getting into a messy situation. The only time you shouldn't do this, if your bun has ripped into 2 pieces or is about to rip. Then you'll have a mess on your hands no matter how you place your toppings.
I love it.
Eating a cupcake with icing.
A small cake in the shape of a cup!
Cupcakes are one of the most loved sweet treats on the planet. They allow people to feel like they are indulging without the guilt of a large piece of cake. There are so many different types of flavors of cupcakes that it can be difficult to choose which type to eat. From chocolate to vanilla to red velvet to dulce de leche, there is a cupcake for everyone.
Cupcakes? Oh, yeah!
So many, in fact, that it would be impossible to list every flavor that exists. But there is one thing about cupcakes which can leave you feeling a bit childish. For those who have tried to eat a cupcake with a perfect swirl of icing on top, you know it can be a pretty messy maneuver. Icing ends up on your nose, all over your mouth, or completely falling off as you bite into it. Well, there is a way to eat a cupcake that takes away the messiness, and people have been doing it for a very long time. So, what's the trick? First, you cut the bottom of the cupcake off and then you flip it around and place it on top of the icing. When you do this, you should get what looks like a cupcake sandwich with the icing pressed between the 2 layers of cupcake. Now, when you bite into the cupcake, the icing won't be going anywhere but in your mouth where it belongs.
I want one.
No.
Peeling bananas.
Banana!
Banana!
Peeling a banana is not usually a hard task. However, you would be surprised at how many people find themselves squishing their bananas into mush as they peel them open. This is because sometimes bananas are so ripe that the tops of them are delicate. When we peel bananas using the stem at the top, we have to push against the banana itself. And if the banana is too soft, well, you end up with a bunch of squished banana and a peel that still isn't open properly. Did you know that this actually isn't the right way to peel a banana?
I don't get it.
Bananas are meant to be peeled with the long stem that you usually peel from at the bottom. Yes, you are meant to flip the banana upside down and peel the banana from the short end. Although it can take a second to dig into this end, once you do, you will be able to peel the banana easily and efficiently. Why is this considered to be the proper way? Well, this is exactly how monkeys open bananas. It stops them from bruising the fruit, ruining the texture, and honestly, it just makes more sense. Also, if you were handing this yellow fruit to a child, handing the banana to them by the stem allows them to hold it easily, like a built-in handle. I think we can all say that bananas are pretty delicious, no matter which way you peel them.
They're weirdly good.
Cutting onions.
Just kidding.
Anyone who has cut an onion before knows the feeling of watery and irritated eyes during the process. From goggles to sunglasses, people have tried everything to stop their eyes from tearing up. There have been so many products invented aimed at fixing this kitchen conundrum. What exactly causes this issue in the first place? The burn that your eyes feel from cutting onions comes from a chemical irritant that the onions produce. This irritant affects a gland in your eyes that leads to the production of tears.
Hey, who left this bowl of onions here?
So, is there a way to stop the tears from flowing when all you want to do is dice up an onion? If you're thinking of donning a hazmat suit, save yourself the silly look and try this simple solution instead. Peel the onion, run it under cold water, and then cut away. Running the onion under cold water before dicing slows down the cell activation in the onion and won't cause irritation to your eyes as quickly. Placing the onion in the freezer or fridge for 20 minutes beforehand will help even more. So don't let onions make you cry. They're not worth your tears. Taking the top off a strawberry.
It's another pleasant day for me.
Strawberries are a pretty straightforward fruit. The only adjustment that you make when you eat them is that you cut off the green top, which is actually called the calyx. This leafy part of the fruit is not very appetizing to eat, so whether you slice it off or bite around it, it's more than likely thrown away. Most people use a knife to cut the calyx off of the strawberry before slicing them or eating them in one bite. However, when you do this, you end up wasting a lot of the red, fleshy, fruity part of the strawberry. There is a simple way to avoid wasting too much of the actual strawberry, and all you need is a straw. If you don't have a straw, you can use anything that has a similar shape and hollow in the middle. All you have to do is stick the straw through the strawberry from the bottom and up towards the calyx. When it reaches the top, the calyx stem should pop off perfectly and no part of your strawberry should be wasted.
Oh man, I feel like wow.
This process is super quick and super easy. Want to make your strawberries even yummier? After you have removed the green part of the strawberry with a straw, you can fill the center, where the straw has pierced, with different things like chocolate or cream. This will make your strawberry experience even better, although higher in calories. But it will definitely be worth it.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Extracting pomegranate seeds.
No, pomegranates!
Pomegranates are full of antioxidants and are a very popular fruit, especially with those who are seeking a lower-calorie fruit option. Pomegranates are one of the hardest fruits to take apart and eat, mostly because the seeds of the pomegranate are embedded in their white flesh. This tricky fruit is made even trickier when the seeds are pierced, since they will release their red color, which is known for staining clothing. Many people swear by the method of cutting a pomegranate in half and tapping it with a wooden spoon into a bowl. This is one way to cut a pomegranate, however, you are still left with big chunks of flesh and seeds stuck together, which you then have to separate anyways. There is a much easier way to get all the seeds detached from the flesh without it taking you an hour to do so. What's the trick?
Hey, how are you doing this?
Get a bowl of water ready and cut the pomegranate into quarters. With each quarter, dunk it under the water and use your fingers to separate the seeds from the flesh. By doing it in water, the white flesh will float to the top and the seeds will fall to the bottom of the bowl. This method will not only make the separation happen easier, but no red juice will be spraying anywhere, keeping your house and your clothes pomegranate free.
You know why? Because you're a neat guy.
Squeezing a tough lemon.
Do I have a surprise for you?
What's that?
20 real lemons.
Lemons and limes have become staple ingredients in many meals. From dinners to desserts, citrus plays a huge part in creating flavor, tartness, and depth. We all have encountered a lemon that feels a bit harder than we want, making it hard to squeeze and get juice from. There is a super simple way to get maximum juice from a lemon without squeezing or rolling it against your counter for hours. The way to get a firm lemon to soften up is to put it in the microwave for about 10 to 20 seconds. After, when you take the lemon out, it should feel softer and easier to squeeze.
Lemon, don't let these girls give you a hard time about who you are.
If the lemon feels a bit too warm, let it sit for a minute or two before cutting it in half and squeezing away. A lot of people think that when their lemons are hard, that it means they are not ripe, or they need a few more days on the counter. In reality, some lemons will not soften over time, especially if you have been keeping them in the fridge. Save yourself the headache and try the microwave trick. This way, no matter how firm the lemons you buy at the grocery store may be, they will all be usable at a moment's notice. You can use this method for other citrus as well, such as limes, grapefruits, and oranges. Just make sure not to put it in the microwave for too long, or you'll be left with a pretty mushy lemon. Fun fact, some people actually slice lemons and put them into a measuring cup of water and put them in their microwave as a way of cleaning it. The acidity breaks down any food stuck on walls of your microwave and makes it easier to clean. Who knew lemons and microwaves went so hand in hand? Stick around, tap on that screen for more great videos, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell to join our notification squad.